Why, hello, Prealgebra students. This is lesson 41. Our objective is, what are and how do you use functions? So let's just jump right into it. A function is a mathematical rule that identifies a relationship between two sets of numbers. So how you get from one set of numbers to another set of numbers. A function rule is applied to an input number to generate an output number. So think of it kind of like a machine, like this picture right down here. This is a function. You put in an input and it outputs a price. For instance, cash registers are like a big function machine. You input the price of all the items. It calculates tax and discounts, coupons, etc., blah, 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 and then bloop, outputs the number that you have to pay. So it's like a function. But it's this part here that I underlined in red is very important. For each input number, there is one and only one output number. So I'll give you an example of a function. Let's say I go to Walmart and I buy 10 Hot Wheels cars. Then I know exactly the price because every Hot Wheels car costs the same amount. So if I buy 10 Hot Wheels cars, I'll always get the same price. Okay. However, an example of something that's not a function, if I went to Walmart and just picked 10 things out of the store and checked out, yes, it'd give me a price, but the next time I go back, if I got a different 10 things, it wouldn't see the same price. So the input of 10 items gives me two different output or two different costs of those items. So that'd be an example of something that's not a function. A little earlier in the book it talked about this, the formula P equals 4S, being the perimeter of a square, right? The perimeter is equal to 4 times the side length. The input, the number you put in, is the side length, and the output is the perimeter. So you're like, oh, the side length is 2, then you will know that the perimeter is 8. Okay. So we classify sets of functions as either proportional or not proportional. And there's other classifications as well, but we're not going to be talking about all of them today. Another one we're talking about is linear or not linear. Linear means that it forms a line if you graphed its points, and then non-linear means it doesn't form a straight line. So let's try a couple of these out. Alright, this is practice A. It says the relationship between feet and inches is a function. Write an equation that shows how to find the number of inches, n, or that's the output, if you know the number of feet, I, the input. Then make a table that shows the number of inches in 1, 2, 3, and 4 feet. Is the relationship linear? Is the relationship proportional? So let's just, first of all, I guess let's start off with a function rule. Yeah, here it is. Write an equation. So we know that there is 12 inches in every foot. So the inches is what I'm wanting to come out. So n is my number of inches. So my answer, I guess, is going to be how many inches there are in I feet. So if there's 1 foot, I would get 12. 2 feet, I get 24. So I'm going to multiply 12 times I. So this is the first part here. N is the number of inches, and then 12 times I is the number of feet, would tell me how many inches there are. So it says, okay, so we're going to put the input on the left, the output on the right, and it says for 1, 2, 3, or 4 feet, so I'm going to put that in there, 1, 2, 3, or 4 feet. So if I wanted to calculate that, these are my i's, and these are my n's. So if I wanted to find my n's, I'd just say 12 times 1. So it means n is equal to 12. Another option would be, so that would go here. N is going to equal to 12 times 2, which means n is equal to 24. n is equal to 12 times 3, which means n is equal to 36. And n is equal to 12 times 4, which means n is equal to 48. Okay, so now there's the table that it asks, and then it says, is this relationship linear and proportional? And I'll show you how to figure that out in just a second. First of all, let's talk about linear. Linear says it would form a line. So we can think of these inputs and outputs as being points. 1, 12, 2, 24, 3, 36, 4, 48. So let's graph those. Here's 1, 12, there's that point. 2, 24, is that point. 3, 36, and 4, 48. And if you notice, you can draw a straight line through all of those. Since I can draw a straight line through all of those, then is it linear? I would say yes, it is linear. So that's part of it. And then to say it's proportional, I need to take the outputs and divide it by the inputs and see if I get the same answer for all of those. So let's just see about proportional here. What is 12 over 1 equal to? 12. What is 24 over 2 equal to? Well, that reduces to just simply 12. What about 36 over 3? Yes, it comes out to be 12. And then the last one would be 48 over 4, which comes out to be 12. So is this proportional? I would say yes, it is proportional. Okay, and that's because all of these came out to be the same number. And it's also important to note that it goes right there through the point 0, 0. All proportional functions go through 0, 0. Okay. So let's try one more. This is practice B. Yolanda played a new game with Xavier. She used this equation to generate her response to each number Xavier said. Y equals x minus 2. Describe with words the rule Yolanda used. So this is the number that Yolanda would say. This is the number that Xavier would give her. And then she would subtract 2. So that's exactly what I'm going to say. Yolanda subtracted 2 from whatever Xavier said. Next it says, then make a function table that shows the numbers. Yolanda says for 4 numbers Xavier might say. Use 0 for one of Xavier's, and then 3 more of your choosing. So notice I already put the 0 in there. Just go ahead and keep it easy and go, I don't know, 1, 2, 3. So those are numbers that Xavier said. So if Xavier said 0, Yolanda would take 0 and subtract 2, which would give you minus 2. If I said 1 minus 2, that would give me negative 1. 2 minus 2 is 0, and 3 minus 2 is 1. So you could have picked different 1, 2, or 3 if you had wanted, but that's just some easy ones. Alright, and then the last thing it's wanting to know is it linear? And is it proportional? So let's look at linear. Let's graph those 0, negative 2. That's that point right there. 1, negative 1, that's that point right here. 2, 0, that's that point right here. And 3, 1. So it looks definitely like we're going to be forming a straight line. So is this linear? Yes, it is linear. And then is it proportional? Well, let's find out. Is negative 2 over 0? That's actually undefined. We can't divide by 0. What about negative 1 over 1? Which is going to be negative 1. 0 over 2. If I have 0 cookies, I divide amongst my 2 friends, they each get 0. And then if I take 1 cookie and divide amongst 3 friends, that's just going to be 1/3. So are these numbers coming out to be the same? No, they are not, and it's also worth pointing out that it does not pass through 0, 0. So then I would say not proportional. Right, your homework is on page 283. You're doing all the 41s, all the 40s, and 9 more of your choice.